This is Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social. Delighted to be joined for the first time down here at the iBox Bromley. Mr. Jordan, the Wanderer Reynolds. Jordan, how are you, brother?
Yeah, all good, mate. Thanks for coming down. Gloucestershire.
Yeah.
Didn't know that, mate. It's a trek, innit?
Bit of a trek back to my London roots, I suppose, outskirts, a bit like similar to me. Look, we're here today, everyone's training, ticking over. Obviously, we've got certain fight dates, certain things coming up to be announced. Yourself, 3-0. Just talk a little bit about sort of the viewers. I think we've seen bits in the past for yourself. I know you've done lots with my friend over at IFL, Oscar Bevis. But just on your own side of things, where are things in the world of Jordan Reynolds?
Mate, it's been a mad one, mate. Like, you couldn't really write it, really. You couldn't make it up. We've had a mad start to the career. It couldn't have gone any worse, mate. Obviously, the pandemic, and then had a few mad injuries, few mad injuries. Freak injuries, you know what I mean? I had to get surgery and things like that. So we've come through it, mate. We've come through it with flying colours. It's built character, it's built resilience. It's nothing that it is what it is, mate. I'm in a good place. I mean, I'm fighting on the 29th of October, Eddie Hearn Matchroom. Big thank you to Darren Barker and Joe Kawasaki, who are managing me, and they've just they've asked me that date, and hopefully we can get an army at Wembley Arena, not too far from my hometown Luton. So. Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a mad one, mate. I should be probably about 10-0, mate, to be honest with you. But I had to take a few months off. Could have come back a little bit earlier, but I didn't want to rush it. I want to get things right, sort things out at home, and I've come out of it on a different level, mate, to be honest with you. So I'm flying, mate. I'm happy. I'm in a good place in my life, to be honest with you. That's what it's about.
Boxing is a frustrating industry, and I speak to people, and I imagine someone like Sky Nicholson, who you've got in the gym, has had probably the most amazing couple of months possible. And then obviously you go on the other side, and I speak to people like Archie, who said he's had a nightmare a couple of years. You know, yourself with the pandemic and everything. It is just that resilience and knowing what you're fighting for, and just getting through that, innit?
Yeah, 100%. You can never you can't compare your journey on anyone else's journey. Do you know what I mean? We're all on our own journey, so I thrive and I buzz seeing people do well, mate. Because listen, life's hard. It's a hard old game. If anyone can make a few quid or do well for himself, I'm like, fair play. Like, let's have it. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, listen, we just got to push forward, mate. Like, it's just, without bad times, there's no good times. So it's all positive. I just can't wait to get an army to the 29th of October, mate. It's been a long time coming, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've done over 500 tickets last time. Alexandra Palace. It's supposed to make my debut with Eddie Hearn, and then week before, last spar, ruptured my tendon, mate. 15 grand surgery bill. I'm like, what? What's going on? Do you know what I mean? Long old camp it was as well, mate. Do you know what I mean? And then I went to Mexico, got engaged. It's just bills after bills. I'm thinking, cool, mate. But it's all good. We're alright, mate. We're alright.
Well, let's talk about the 29th. We've seen the full card announced today. A very good card. It's got Jordan Gill against Kiko Martinez. Keegan and Jarko used to be in this gym in a great fight against an unbeaten American. Obviously, Johnny Fisher's on the bill, who sells loads of tickets. Yourself, who will sell loads of tickets. Gary Cully, headlined by Katie Taylor. A card that's sort of, I suppose, okay, people can say the main event might be a little underwhelming in terms of the fights that Katie Taylor's had before, but the card itself, in terms of yourself and the other talent on it, one not to be missed, really.
100%, mate, and it's all up and coming, thriving talent. Listen, Katie's undisputed. She's a legend. Do you know what I mean? So it's an honour to be there. I started my career over in Ireland. I've actually got quite a good following over in Ireland. Me and Gary Cully, we go way back years, and then we reunited when we both turned pro, and then now we're both reuniting again. Both fighting with Eddie Hearn. So it's good to see. Listen, I think it's a great show, mate. Wembley Arena for my first fight back as well, my fourth professional fight. After all the drama, now I could have folded up and just turned my back on this game, mate. Listen, I went up to 100 kilograms. I went to 100 kilograms, eating stuff for myself. I thought, mate, it's time to crack on, knuckle down, push forward. Now we're here, feeling good, and Wembley Arena. Hopefully we bring a crowd.
Finally got that buzz back in you. Obviously it will bring a crowd and massive eyes on what will be a big night. I suppose you say the Irish, and you've got the English talent coming from everywhere on that bill. Let's move on to sort of the gym and people around you. Just caught up with Archie, been speaking to Dennis. I know he wants the Commonwealth next. Archie in line for Shakur's belt. Sky and Eddie going over to Australia. look, a gym that's really, really thriving. I see Pierce O'Leary, everyone's bigging him up in there. Danny, everyone. I mean, it's just a special gym, and I suppose when you're in that sort of environment, you're all just inspiring each other.
Iron sharpens iron, mate. And you see this gym here, right? They're good-hearted people, especially like Al Smith, Eddie Lamb, Paul Taylor. Got my strength coach Cam, Dale Hardiman. They're good-hearted people. They want to see you do well. They don't need to put you in silly fights and that. They look after you. Do you know what I mean? That's the main thing. It's like a family down here. We all push each other. We all learn from each other, and we grow together. Like we all it's like a family now, mate. Boxing's a lonely sport. So when you go in there and you know that people are suffering,
Like you're not as alone.
yeah, not as alone when you come here, mate. And then when you go home, you're like, oh, fucking hell, Missus trying to eat food in front of me. I'm like, oh, mate. Do you know what I mean? But
No date nights.
yeah, no date nights, mate. No more, yeah. So no nights out with the lads either. So that's all been stop off now, mate. So strict now, mate. I've been strict for the last fucking few months. So listen, great gym. I'm buzzing, mate. And like we want to get 2 fights this year, and I want to start pushing for titles next year. I don't really want to be waiting around. Like you can see
Not
how
the time to waste and wait around now, is it anymore?
No, you can't, mate. Listen, I've done my pedigree. I had over 100 fights. Like you never know what's around the corner, mate. Like, I've had some freak injuries and things like that. I just want to push on, mate. See how far I can go. Bring the people with me, and let's have good nights.
I think now as well, it's more like seizing the opportunity, because where we've seen, like, obviously with COVID, and then sort of that stopped off again, then there were bubble shows, and then there was Joshua Pulev that was open to 1,000 fans in all this distancing, and British Boxing Board had controlled tests, and even if you tested negative but felt absolutely fine, your fight would be off. And then even like with the passing of the Queen, there were weeks of fights that were cancelled. Then I suppose now it is a real opportunity in boxing where if you're given the opportunity, seize the moment, because it's probably one of the most unexpected times that we've had to deal with.
Mate, you got to be it's a dog sport, mate. Yeah, and we're like dogs. We've got to be a dog at a table, ready looking for them scraps. As soon as that fucking bit of food drops, mate, boom, we're in. And that's how you got to take it. It's like it's nothing. It's a short career. It's an unforgiving sport. So whatever opportunities are there, we're taking, mate. And I really do. I do believe like British title is what I want within the next 18 months, 100%. I've had to sit down with Darren Barker, Joe Kawasaki, and we're all on the same page. So I don't want to be messing about. Listen, I've had top sparring. I've sparring rounds with Felix Cash, mate. He's an animal. He's the daddy at the weight. So like lovely geezer, and I've been welcomed to the gym with Tony Sims and the lads, Connor Ben. So just getting to work here, mate. Feeling good.
And then, obviously, just finally from me, actually, no, I'll do 2 more. We speak about sort of teaming up with Darren and Joe. 2 amazing. First thing, like, really good friends. And when you've got 2 guys that are that close, that know the sport as well as they do, you're going to do well. But just to team up with the 2 of them, obviously, Joe, one of the all-time greats. Darren, someone who, we know how well he knows the sport, former world champion. To have those sort of guys behind you, backing you every step of the way, you're in good stead.
Yeah, 100%. It's just... They don't really beat around the bush, and they believe in me. They see something in me, and they push me forward. Like and do you know what? There's normal, genuine lads. Yeah. This is what it's all about. I've crack on. I chat to Darren most days. They're just lads. Do you know what I mean? I can tell them the crack. I can tell them what's going on, and they advise me. They know the game, business. They've been a fighters themselves. They know it's a hard old game. So they advise me in the ring and outside the ring as well, which is you need to, mate. You need to.
And then just finally from me, I've been asking everyone today, and it's something that I suppose we'll be asking for weeks and weeks and weeks now until we see if something's announced. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, there was back and forth. No one believed it. 258 management come out and said, look, we accept the terms, December the 3rd. Joshua coming off 2 back-to-back defeats. First things first, what is there a path for Joshua if he loses to Fury, or with the amount of money he's made in the sport, do you think it would be time for him to call it a day?
Well, do you know what? The money he's made is harder for him. Like when you ain't got the dough and things like that, mate, you're hungry. He made it a long time ago. He could. It's harder for him to get out of bed. Do you know what I mean? So I think fair play. I think it should happen. The fight would be. Listen, if he pulls it off, he's back in the mix. He's back there. Do you know what I mean? But. It's a hard fight. Tyson Fury's the king. I think he's the daddy at the heavyweight division. If it's gonna be on, we want to see it in London, not over in Saudi or things like that. We want it in London or in the UK for us lads. They've made enough money, both of them. So just treat us. Do you know what I mean? We want to see that. And yeah, I think it will happen. It should happen. It needs to happen. Do you know what I mean? I think that would be, unless AJ goes with Wilder. I think AJ will spark Wilder out. But yeah, man, that's we'll see. Listen, the fight's never on until they're both in the ring, mate. It doesn't matter what happens. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Well, Jordan, thank you very much for your time. Just a final message to the people watching.
Yeah, apologise to my sponsors and the people who've been supporting me and things like that. It's been a bit of a mad one, but you've stuck by me. I know the lads who are true behind me, and the, a lot of people that have showed their true colours. So yeah, thanks for everyone's support. 29th of October, get at me. A night to remember. I'm sure we'll be doing like the Wonder Experience at Chicken George. Buy your tickets, food, drink, coach there, coach back, after party, little lock-in DJ. And then we go missing for a few days. So, yeah, let's have it.
You sold it to me, let alone your fans. Jordan, thank you very much for your time.